Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to my kitchen. I thought it was the perfect place to talk about the bear. It will help you understand creative people better. If you know people in your life who are eccentric creatives and you don't know how to get on with them, this show will really help. It is a stunning piece of artistic work on so many levels. Everything from the cinematography to the storylines. I know a lot of people accuse it of sort of not doing much. I think what they do with the storytelling in The Bear and how they capture something that could be incredibly mundane and make it so interesting. But the bit that really resonates with me about The Bear is how they portray and how they tell the story of the artist's journey and the struggles that somebody who is dedicated to their craft go to. Now, I know that there are no artists technically in The Bear, but I do very much feel that cooking is an art form so nuanced. The beauty that you can create with your ingredients, the art that you can create in the kitchen, and I think it's an art form that I'm always looking to explore more. Anybody who's seen my Anthony Bourdain video, link below, know how much he and his career and the way he approached cooking has influenced and affected me and changed my life. And for me, when I first started watching The Bear, wow, it was like they had made television just for me. A couple of reasons. Obviously, as I mentioned, it's shot beautifully. I think the stories are beautifully told. I love that they sort of will go off on these crazy tangents and have these outlier episodes and really help move the characters and the story along. But they are not afraid to go out there and do crazily different episodes that do not fit the standard format from the show. If you can give that show a standard format, because I think one of its strengths is it's just so not afraid to completely break out of the norm of any of the pieces of work that have come before it. But it is the portrayal of the artist's journey that I find really interesting. Carmy, who is the central character, he is such an interesting portrayal of somebody who is incredibly driven and incredibly sort of focused on their art form and sacrifices everything else around them to move that forward. And I think it is a spectacular portrayal of those sorts of people. For anybody out there who's spent a lot of time around creative people, around artists, I think so many of us will see so many shades of people we know in Carmy and in the people around him. And I think Sidney is another fantastic character. There is a lot of hate for Sidney, but she is this beautifully unjaded character, and I love Ayo Edebiri's performance. Even though a lot of people have criticized it, anyone who does, I don't think they honestly get the character. She is this enthusiastic, excited young person who is doing what so many people do when they love something, diving into the deep end. And she's in an environment that she probably wasn't ready for, but as so many great creatives do. And this is another thing that I've seen in so many incredibly talented creatives. They dive into the deep end, they take on more than they can handle, and they immerse themselves in these worlds which are often sort of way out of their depth. And I think a lot of great creatives actually do this, but then thrive. And I think that's definitely something we've seen her do during the show. And I think the performance that she puts on, Ayo Edebiri, playing Sidney, is just so pitch perfect, and she gets it so right. And I think some of the people who criticize her for being a bit flat in certain scenes, what you're seeing there is the character having a very real defensive reaction to what's happening around her, and Carmy laying on more stress than she can possibly handle. It's her coping mechanism as a character, and I think she is fantastic. I think the nuance she puts into that performance, I want to go and watch it right now. I think I will right after this video. But I think she is superb in this show, and I think the criticism of her in the show is entirely unfounded. I think she is a spectacular actress. She is so talented, and what she brings to the character, the nuance, the love of what she's doing, the sort of the childlike enthusiasm for this thing that she loves, even in the face of a mentor who is borderline sort of abusive in many ways and by modern standards. It's so spectacular. She captures so perfectly somebody at the beginning of their career who is sort of going through that bit in their career where they're almost sort of peaking and about to hit a slump, and they're really up against it. And I cannot wait to see what happens in season 4 with that character. I think people who criticize Carmy, the character, Jeremy Allen White's character, in this show, perhaps haven't been around artists who are immersed in their craft and obsessed with it in the same way. And I'm lucky to have met people like that. I am very lucky to have worked with people like that. And lucky because it's brilliant. It's incredible seeing people at their peak doing amazing things, but you also do get abused a little bit, which I think is just part and parcel of the artistic process. I know a lot of people will spin around and go, no, you don't have to abuse people to be a great artist. Look, I completely agree. But some artists are incredibly eccentric. Some of the greatest artists in history, arguably, were incredibly eccentric and did behave in absolutely crazy ways. And I think this show just captures perfectly a modernized version of that. And I cannot wait to see where they take this, as I said. Anyway, look, so if you haven't seen The Bear, I definitely recommend checking it out. When you look at the characters, I definitely encourage you to look through that filter. And I'm talking about two characters here because I think that particular journey they've been on has really resonated with me from my past experiences and people I've met and stories I know about great artists who've come before me, not necessarily people I've met. But the rest of the characters are absolutely fantastic in this show as well. I mean, Richie, he is the heart and soul of the show. And there's a lot of swearing in this, by the way. Definitely don't watch this with your kids. There's a lot of abuse of each other in the show. I think the cameos have been fantastic. I really love the recurring cameo that Olivia Colman has. Joel McHale as well. There's some fantastic. John Cena was another one who was absolutely brilliant for one episode as well. One, maybe two in season 3, I can't remember. But I recommend this show so much to anybody who has an eccentric artist friend or lives with an eccentric artist or somebody who's pursuing a creative career, who needs to perhaps understand those people a little bit more, but doesn't feel like they can confront those people. I think if you watch this show and try and understand the people and where they're coming from, it will really help you understand the more eccentric people in your lives. So look, a little bit of an opinion piece. I'm not going to harp on about it too much. I think it is one of the greatest pieces of television this decade, at least. It's really up there for me. And that's saying a lot. There's been a lot of incredible stuff, but The Bear is right up there. Look, tell me what you think about The Bear. Tell me if you think I'm right about being it great. I'd love to hear your perspectives on it from having watched it as well, and particularly insofar as how that relates to artists that you know and great art and how people behave in that space when they're eccentric and absorbed with what they do. In any case, thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for joining me in my kitchen. Who knows, maybe I will do something to do with cooking, seeing as I seem to love food-themed videos and food-themed stuff. So if you'd like to see that, let me know. I might get creative in the kitchen. Until next time, stay creative. And if you love my camera shirt, please do check out my awesome shirts and prints store. Everything's linked below. Anyway, take care. See you soon. Bye.